Hello, it's Ashley from Paper&Twine and welcome. I think this is Woollypod number 8. And thank you. I got a really nice response to the last one. I've had something like 340 views, which is a lot for me. I'm only a small channel compared to a lot of people who do Woollypods. So thank you very much for watching and I hope you'll enjoy today. A little bit of a mixed bag, a little bit of a smorgasbord of delights. Give Barry, my virtual barista, your drinks order. I've just got a black Earl Grey tea because it is quite early in the morning as I'm filming this. How did you cope with the heat yesterday? It's Saturday morning. I'm not sure whether this is going to go up today or whether it'll go up tomorrow. Oh, I've just seen a problem there. But it is a very different day today. At the moment it's 16 degrees outside, and yesterday where I live in the UK it reached 30 and it was very, very hot indeed. And I think it stayed really hot right through until about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. Anyway, what can I tell you? I have got a finished object. Yes, I have. I think I showed this on the needles or threatened that I was going to cast it on. My niece was expecting a baby and she's safely delivered of a little girl. She knew that she was going to be having a girl and she's called Marlo. I've met her. I met her when she was about 10 days old, a week, 10 days old. And oh, she's such a cute little dot. She was 6 pounds something born, so quite a teeny baby. Anyway, I have finished my jumper and I'm really pleased with how it turned out. I might just need to give it another block now it's joined together, but I really liked the lace pattern. Very easy to do with a little cable. Oh, I've got a little mistake there, never mind. It's unique, isn't it? And then there's just a little button closure on the top, just a little loop, so it's easy to get on over the head. Now, I didn't join these raglans very neatly. I'm not the best at making up, but I have done mattress stitch for the first time, which is supposed to give an invisible seam. Mine isn't exactly invisible, but for a first go, I thought that was all right. So that is my finished object. Let's pop that over there. I don't know where to pop you over there. What can I tell you next? Yes, Northeasterly Blanket is coming on. Not in leaps and bounds because I don't take it to work with me anymore because it's too big. Shall I show you? I'll take you top down. So it's quite heavy as well, as you can see. It's about 270 grams or something. I can't remember now, but I am loving it so much, and it is going to be gorgeous when it's finished. But I was looking at the colours. I'm getting caught up on my bracelet. I was looking at the colours and thinking I need something just slightly deeper that's going to maybe pick up this blue here. Because I've got a lot of very, very pale blues, and I needed some needles in a different size, and I remembered that there was a independent yarn store not too far from where my parents live. So last Sunday I went round there and nipped in, and I bought this, which I think is going to blend in really nicely. I'm just going to do little pops of it here and there. But I went to a little shop. The first time I went several months ago, it was closed. I forget what day of the week it was. Was it a Wednesday? Can't remember. but it's called the Knitting Corner, and it's in a little complex called Mitchell's Shopping Centre. Used to be called the Hungry Horse years ago. And yeah, the Knitting Corner, I'll leave their details linked down below, but it was Sunday when I went, and there was a little stitch and bitch going on, which was lovely, but they were very friendly and they're very helpful, and it's a lovely little shop, lots of independent yarn, which I like to see, and as I say, they were very helpful. I went in for some needles and came out with that, but I forgot, when I put this in the bag, I've got a little bag with skeins that need winding for my Northeasterly blanket. I came across these from my Mother's Day yarn box from Elderflower Stitches, but on saying that, this has got this colour in it, so I think that's going to match really, really nicely. But I did have a little bit of a problem. The blanket is so heavy now, I've actually broken one of my little needles that I'm knitting it on. So that's a shame, isn't it? And it's a nice Knit Pro needle as well. Yeah, so it's broken. But yeah, I'm loving it. But I'll be picking that up again soon. I'll pop these back in this box. I've got this bag rather from, where's it from? Barramu up in Yorkshire. Yeah, so I've got a few skeins in here that need winding for my Northeasterly, so I'll pop those safe in there so they're all together and I know what is what. Yeah, I thought what would be really useful was to show you a little bit of my pattern archive. I've been knitting for a very long time, and I kind of do it in fits and starts, and I have got an awful lot of reference books for patterns and what have you, and I had a whole cubby in my bookcase in the kitchen taken up with Rowan knitting magazines, and I thought, well, how often do I actually flick through them? I think most of us now, when we want a pattern, we go on Ravelry, don't we? I know certainly I do. That's my first port of call, and I thought, I don't want to get rid of them because they are lovely. They're beautifully photographed, aren't they? So how many would I have had? Probably about 30 to 35 books maybe, because they publish 2 a year. So they've gone in plastic crates in the loft, apart from 2 that have got patterns in that I want to knit fairly soon. So that's freed me up a cubby for cookery books, because that's another obsession of mine, is cookery books. So yes, they've gone up in the loft, and I'm going to have a weed through some of my other patterns, but I'll show you a way that I've archived my patterns. So I can't even get it all in shot, but I've got this big A4 lever arch file, and I used to buy all of the knitting magazines back in the day. Yes, and they take up space, don't they? So I came up with this plan of sorting through my magazines and cutting out the ones that I wanted. So I used to buy Vogue. Smiths used to carry Vogue knitting, but they don't anymore. So I used to buy that a lot. I used to buy The Knitter. I didn't buy the British magazines so much. There was another American one. Oh, Interweave Knits, yes. So I've got all of these patterns in here, and you can't even see them. I can't get close enough. But yes, I've just put them in plastic wallets, and things that I liked, I just, you know, put in plastic wallets and shoved in here. So there's lots of lace shawls and wraps, and some things I've knitted out of here, some things I haven't. This I did for my sister's 60th, this shawl, which was really easy to do. But you can see there's tons in here, and there's no way, with the best will in the world, that I'm ever going to knit all these. So I am going to have a weed through. and think realistically, what am I going to knit? And what I might do is just make a note of the names of some of the patterns in a little book somewhere, and then I can, you know, if I think about it later on, I can knit that. I can't even get you in, but yeah, this lace shawl. But you just get an idea here. But they're kind of, this is kind of sectioned into shawls and wraps, and then garments. And I did find a garment in here that I do want to knit, so we'll just take a couple out. You see, this is something that I want to have a go at, is Fair Isle. Sorry for the glare on the plastic thing, but I thought starting off something small like some gloves or a hat or a vest, that would be good. And then I've just seen what's behind this. I'm a sucker for any knitting pattern that is lime green or acid yellow. Love that. Again, sorry for the glare. It's a bit chunky for me. I like knitting 4-ply or what have you. Let's see what, well, it will be a sublime yarn, won't it? Because it's a sublime pattern. Let's see what, oh, it is extra fine. Oh no, it is DK. It's a DK weight, that, and I don't very often knit in double knitting, but that I like. And then there's something about this one, the next one, that I really like. So these I probably will be keeping. I like how the stylist just layered up the t-shirts underneath in the same colour, but I really like that sweater. Simple stripes with a little bit of detailing at the bottom, an anchor pattern, and I like the colours. This I probably will get rid of because I've got, you know, things like it, but this I really like. This is Alice Starmore, and I think it's a construction. Design focuses on shaping and incorporates deep, delicate openwork patterning. Sorry, this is really bad, you can't see terribly well. And then I did come across one that I'm definitely going to do. You see that? That's a Louisa Harding pattern. That's going. Yeah, that can come out now. I'm not going to knit that. But that's nice. If I ever do get to grips with Fair Isle, I quite like that. And the muted colours for autumn. So that can stay in. But where's the one that I really, really like? This I've knitted, the Dahlia cardigan. You can just see a little thumbnail of it there. Lovely, knitted in one piece from the centre back out. And this I've got on the needles. It's been on the needles since 2008. Oh, excuse me. I bought the yarn in New York. I've got the yarn that it calls for, but I'm doing it in a kind of mulberry colour. I must finish that. So that's Alchemy yarns. That was not cheap to buy. This, I don't know whether I will knit that. Chunky, I sometimes like, yeah, there's loads in here that could probably be got rid of, but where's the one that I really did like the look of? Probably gone past it. Can't find it. I'll find it for the next Woollypod. Sorry, that wasn't the most efficient way of showing you, was it? But you can see that's just a small selection of my patterns. I did find the one. This cardigan, I thought it'd be lovely for autumn, late winter. And it's using blacker yarns, and I think I should do it in a soft grey, because I've got a very soft grey cardigan that I bought from Next, oh gosh, must be 12 or more years ago, and I love it. I absolutely love it, but it is really ratty now. I don't wear it out in public anymore, but I love it. It's just one of those comfort things, and I really like the colour and the shape of it. So I think I'm gonna keep that out and definitely give that a go. Can you see the texture on the sleeves and the front? The back's plain. There's another view of it. I just really like the shape of that. That's very me, kind of unstructured, boxy. So who designed that? Is that an Alice Starmore? Let's have a look. Oh, Sean Brown. Sean Brown, yes, I've heard of her, but that looks really nice. And I do get bored with stocking stitch, so having that little bit of texture will keep me satisfied, I think. So we'll keep that out. But found this as well. What on earth was I thinking? I don't know anybody that'd wear that. Do you? Comment down below. Do you know anybody that'd wear that? So that can go in the trash pile. Well, in fact, actually, no. What I'm going to do, I've got a friend that goes to a craft group once a month, and there's a mixture of crafts, and I've said I'll sort through what I don't want and give them to her, and she can take them along, and anybody that wants them can have them, and they can be chucked if not. But I don't buy magazines very often anymore for knitting, but I did see this. This is the last but one issue of the Knitter, and I really liked that on the front, and I thought the woman was very striking as well, so that was the reason I bought that. So I'll probably have a flick through. Well, I have read through this already, and I do like the Knitter because there's really interesting articles in about where your yarn comes from, and you do get to find out about small independent companies, and I'm all about supporting small independent companies where I can. I've also seen there's a book in here that I might like. Who's written it? Is it Nora? Yeah, Nora Gohan, is that how you pronounce her name? I've always liked her pattern. She does a lot of modular knitting. She's got a book out called Knit, Fold, Pleat, Repeat, which looks very interesting, and it looks as if it might be modular things. Yeah, so that looks really interesting. Yeah, so that's that. We'll pop that there. Now, what else can I tell you? Oh, I've been having problems. Yes, I have. Where is... Oh, no, just before I do that, let me just show you one more thing. Yeah, oh, no. We will get onto it. We will get onto it. So, I have shown on my Woollypods before this yarn that I've purchased a long time ago, probably 10 years ago, and it's got very I don't know, I think about fond things when I think about this yarn. I bought this yarn from a shop in Bungay in, is it Suffolk? I always get Suffolk and Sussex mixed up. The county that Ipswich is in, that one. And a very dear friend of mine who used to go to my knitting group called Jane, she sadly developed terminal lung cancer. She wasn't a smoker. But two of our group were originally from near Bungay. And Jane wanted to see them before she died, so I said I'd take her down. Well, it was a surprise, she didn't know. And the friends that we went to stay with, they took us on a pilgrimage of craft shops in their local area, and we went into one yarn shop and I bought 10 balls of this, not knowing what I was going to do with it. And in fact, the pattern support for this is okay, but it's all accessories, and I wanted to knit a garment, so I was on the hunt for garments. And I think I showed last time that I was going to knit the V Neck Boxy. I've been calling a Joji Locatelli, but it's Joji Locatelli by all accounts. Yes, I said I was going to knit that, and my word, the number of times I've cast on and I couldn't understand the pattern. It's knitted in, well, you can do a seamless version or a seamed version, and I wanted to do a seamless version, and I knew that was going to encounter problems because I'm not using the right yarn for the pattern. So I've had to do a tension square, and I've actually ended up using the needles that the pattern says. It's got a lot of positive ease in it, and I just couldn't get to grips with the pattern. And I thought, what's going on? What's going on? I don't understand it. And I left a query in a forum on Ravelry about it, and somebody got back to me really kindly, which helped. But I had a light bulb moment. I thought, oh, I just couldn't visualize it because it's from the top down, and you're doing short row shaping here for the shoulders. I just couldn't visualize it, and I thought, I just really don't know what I'm doing. But I have had a light bulb moment, and I've cracked on. But I was getting so despondent. I thought, I need another pattern. And I was just searching new patterns, and I printed off this one. It's called Sir Pannock. That's not the best photo of it, but it's a really nice loose, nicely draped sweater in a Habu Textiles mohair yarn. And I thought, oh, that might work. And the yarn is a thread weight or a lace weight, and my yarn is a thread weight. So I thought, oh, so I started casting that on, and yeah, and then it was just like, no, I know what I'm doing with the boxy now. So I've gone back to the boxy, but I should definitely knit that at another occasion. But I am now worrying that I'm not going to have enough yarn. I've got 2,800 meters, and I've used nearly a whole ball. Just bear with a minute. Got tangled up where I've got little bits of loose yarn where I've joined in. Just bear with. So it's knitted from the top down. You can see my tension is not brilliant. Let's get the right side facing. So this is my cast on edge here, and you can see the short row shaping here for the shoulders. So you do that, then you cast on some more stitches for the back neck, and do the other side. But I've used nearly a whole ball, and I am going to have to just stretch this really aggressively. I've read ahead on the pattern. I'm at a stage now. This isn't quite 6 inches. It needs to be 6 inches, but I'm going to say that it is 6 inches, and I can make it stretch to 6 inches without too much aggressive blocking. It's the depth that is not quite right in the gauge, but crosswise is fine. But it's knitting up how I expected it to, in that it is very light and draping. It's perfect what I wanted. I wanted a really lightweight, sloppy sweater that I could throw on over a vest top and some white trousers. So I think it's going to fulfill that mission. But I'm at a stage now where I need to put this on on hold. So I'm going to unscrew these tips and put my cable ends on, and then I'm at a stage now where I am picking up and knitting for the right front and left front for the V, and then I knit in the round. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to knit in the round until I get to where I need to start the sleeves, and put that on hold and do the sleeves. So I know I've done the sleeves, and then whatever yarn I've got left, I can go in the round and do that for the length. But I'm doing quite a big size for my bust size, and what I think I might do is just do the length to fit me rather than the actual length of the garment. So I'm hoping that I will have enough yarn. So I have whittled on a lot. Let me know in the comments down below what you're knitting at the moment. Let me know in the comments down below how you store your patterns, and I'll be back a month, 6 weeks or so when I've got something more to show you. Thank you so much. I'd love it if you commented down below, and I'd love it if you liked, shared and subscribed. So close to that 1,000 now. Thank you very much, everybody. Bye now.